For in a world nestled amidst towering mountains, a tale of ancient fears and unexpected bonds unfolds. Our story begins in a village shrouded in a nightly vigil, from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., when the mysterious Ochi emerge from their mountain abodes. These are not just any creatures. They are the blue, monkey-like beings that spark both terror and fascination. Young Yuri, armed with a rifle and a knife from the seasoned hunter Petro, finds herself amidst a nocturnal expedition. She, along with other children, ventures into the Ochi's territory, not for sport but for a mission. Their goal, to drive these creatures away and ensure their village's safety. But the Ochi, we soon discover, are not malevolent beasts. They are playful, joyful beings in their own right. Yet under Petro's command, the hunters unleash chaos. Fires ignite, traps are sprung, and the hunt begins. It's a disaster for the Ochi, a desperate struggle for survival. In the midst of this pandemonium, a mother Ochi, with terror and innocence in her eyes, collides with Yuri. Its child, trapped high on a tree, is her sole focus. A spark of empathy ignites in Yuri's heart, and she decides to help. But before she can free the baby, one of her companions, Rabato, strikes the mother Ochi, injuring her badly. The mother is whisked away by her kin, but her child is lost in the forest. The next morning, Petro, oblivious to the emotional toll of the night's hunt, praises his young hunters, though their food supply remains low. He scolds Yuri for her poor performance, showering praise instead on Rabato, the one who harmed the mother Ochi. Humiliated, Yuri storms off into the forest, seeking solace. There, a plaintive cry leads her to a cave, and to the very baby Ochi she tried to save, now caught in a trap. Despite its fear and cries, Yuri, with gentle hands, frees it. The baby Ochi, injured and unable to walk, finds refuge in Yuri's bag and is brought home. A fragile bond begins to form as Yuri bandages its wounds, and the tiny creature starts to trust her. Their newfound friendship flourishes in secret, with playful moments shared between them. But the harsh realities of the world outside soon intrude. The sound of practicing hunters outside sends the baby Ochi into a terrified frenzy. Its howls alert Rabato, who, gun in hand, discovers Yuri's secret. Yuri, with remarkable courage, shields the baby Ogochi, pleading for its life. She explains its innocence, its separation from its mother, and her desire to reunite them. Rabato, swayed by Yuri's conviction and a flicker of humanity, lowers his weapon. Yuri escapes through a window, the baby Ochi safely tucked away. Rabato, keeping their secret, denies seeing Yuri to his worried master, Petro. Petro, discovering Yuri's letter declaring her departure and finding traces of blood and animal hair, believes his daughter has been kidnapped. He rallies the village, and they embark on a desperate search for Yuri in the forest. Meanwhile, Yuri and the baby Ochi arrive in a new town, hunger gnawing at them. In a general store, the baby Ochi, startled, escapes from Yuri's bag, causing panic. A girl even points a gun at the frightened creature. Yuri, desperate to protect her friend, hides in a fridge. In the ensuing chaos, the baby Ochi, in its fear, bites Yuri, leading to a loud scream that draws everyone's attention. Yuri, ever resourceful, smashes a window with a cart and flees, narrowly escaping. She finds a car with keys inside and drives away, the owner in hot pursuit. But her escape comes at a cost. The Ochi's bite begins to take its toll. Her hand swells, blisters appear, and a blue hue spreads across her skin. Dizziness sets in, and she crashes the car by the roadside. Petro, still on Yuri's trail, spots the crashed car, and, recognizing her false teeth, knows she is close. Hours later, Yuri, now entirely blue like an Ochi, sits by a stream. She knows the poison is spreading. In a desperate attempt to cleanse herself, she applies leeches to her skin. But the bite has had an unexpected side effect. Yuri can now understand and speak the Ochi language. Overwhelmed with this newfound ability, she dances with joy, only to slip and fall into a camouflaged pit trap. Injured and unable to move, she is left to the worried gaze of the baby Ochi, perched on a tree above. Petro, tracking her footprints, is closing in. A compassionate woman rescues Yuri from the pit, carrying her home. Upon waking, Yuri recognizes her rescuer, her mother. Overjoyed and relieved, Yuri recounts her adventure, expressing her desire to reunite the baby Ochi with its mother, and her astonishing ability to understand its language. Her mother, however, reveals a surprising truth. The Ochi language, she explains, is not new to Yuri. Her mother taught it to her. Playing a flute that mimics Ochi calls, she clarifies that the Ochi are not benevolent, that they despise humans, and will reject their own baby if it carries the scent of humans. Yuri, furious and disbelieving, accuses her mother of lying. She dismisses her mother's words, seeing them as a reflection of her abandonment. But she notices a map, meticulously crafted by her mother, detailing another Ochi location. Convinced her mother is wrong, Yuri gathers supplies and sets out to find the baby Ochi's true family. Rabato, who had been waiting outside Yuri's house in the rain, witnesses her departure and informs Petro. When Petro arrives, Yuri is gone. He confronts Yuri's mother, who, in a heated exchange, blames him if anything happens to her daughter. The argument escalates, leading to a scuffle broken up by the children. Rabato discovers the map, and they decide to follow Yuri to the Ochi's second location. Meanwhile, Yuri tirelessly searches the forest for the baby Ochi, calling out in its language. Exhausted, she collapses, tears streaming down her face. Suddenly, the baby Ochi appears, calling out to her. Yuri, overjoyed, embraces him. As night falls, they make a small camp, sharing food and milk. Yuri promises the baby Ochi that by morning, she will reunite him with his mother. The next day, they construct a raft and cross a stream, arriving in a breathtaking, seemingly magical land, the hidden world of the Ochi. The baby Ochi calls out to its kind, and the other Ochi emerge, joyful at first. But their expressions turn to fear upon seeing Yuri. They retreat into their caves, confirming Yuri's mother's words. Just then, Petro and his hunters arrive, opening fire. Yuri, desperate to protect the Ochi, especially her tiny companion, overturns their raft, sending them into the water. Petro urges Yuri to abandon the Ochi and return, but she refuses, swimming into a dangerous cave. Petro, determined to save her, follows, risking his own life. He slips, his foot caught in heavy logs. Yuri, seeing his distress, attempts to free him, but the logs are too heavy. Then, the baby Ochi emerges, and for the first time Petro truly sees it. Its innocent eyes shatter his preconceived notions. He realizes these creatures are not evil, and a newfound empathy blooms within him. Together, Yuri and Petro manage to free him. As they emerge from the cave into a breathtaking, almost mystical landscape, they encounter the Ochi, who also emerge, observing the humans. Petro and Yuri hope to bridge the gap between their two species. But then, Petro sees his hunters, guns raised, ready to kill, just as he had taught them. He tries to stop them, but a shot rings out, thankfully missing the Ochi but hitting the mountain. The scared Ochi retreat once more, their anger reignited. It's Yuri's mother who steps in, playing her flute, a melody that speaks directly to the Ochi. She assures them the humans mean no harm, that they only wish to return their lost child. The Ochi relax. Yuri gently places the baby Ochi in its mother's embrace, a poignant reunion that brings tears to Yuri's eyes, and to her mother's as well. In a tearful embrace, Yuri and her mother reconcile, their broken bond mended. The movie concludes, leaving us with the image of these two children, Yuri and the baby Ochi, reunited with their mothers, their worlds forever changed by understanding and empathy.